You're working a lot with meditation and yoga. How does yoga and meditation helps getting to that point?
When you use these words, yoga, meditation in the West, it's become so distorted, it's hard to correct the original definition. The word yoga means union, not twisting and turning. I don't know what sort of yoga they're doing in Germany. What sort of yoga that's happening in United States scares me, because it's all become like a sport, twisting, turning, doing this, doing that. It's not about that, it's about union. What is union? Is it true that right now we're breathing? Both of us are breathing, isn't it? So, what you exhale, the trees are inhaling. What the trees exhale, you're inhaling. So I'm saying there is already a union with everything around you. We can take this into subatomic, particle level. We can talk about atomic energy and see how the whole universe is connected. Now the problem is it's not in your experience. Right now, you think you are a small cubicle by yourself and you feel oppressed by the rest of the creation, not understanding the rest of the creation is sustaining you every moment. So yoga means what is already true, you realize and you begin to experience. You begin to experience that everything is one. I just used this simple process of breathing with trees and started a movement with which millions of trees have been planted right now, where the green cover in this particular state has gone up by 7 to 8% in the last 18 to 20 years' time, simply by people experiencing that what we exhale, the trees are inhaling. One half of my breathing apparatus are actually hanging out on the tree, and it's a fact. But people don't experience it that way. When you experience everything as yourself, then you're in yoga. How you get there is up to you. Inner engineering is a scientific methodology as to how you can remove the barriers which is not allowing you to experience that. So, these barriers are systematically removed because these barriers are installed by you out of the fear or out of the instinct of survival. See, there are two fundamental forces ruling a human being. One thing is the instinct of survival. When the instinct of survival is up, you want to build a wall against the world. But there is also another dimension within you which wants to expand. If you're whoever you are, whatever you are, you want to be something more than what you are. If that something more happens, you want to be something more. This goes on endlessly. Even if I make… your name is Alexander, suppose according to, your namesake's ambition, I make you the emperor of this planet. Will you be fulfilled or will you look at the moon and the sun and the stars and the galaxies? You will look at it, isn't it? So, you have a longing. This is not installed by anybody, instilled by anybody. This is not a teaching or a philosophy. This is a natural longing in a human being to expand limitlessly. If you want to expand limitlessly, can you do it physically? If you try to do it physically, you will end up as a disaster like Alexander the Great, because half the world conquered, a miserable man, and in the end, an Indian mosquito kills him, all right? That too a female mosquito kills him because trying to physically expand will lead to a disaster. So once you understand your expansion or your desire is not about something more, it's about all. It is just that it's coming in installments in your mind. But actually, if you sit here and look at it, what would be absolutely fulfilling for you? You want to expand limitlessly. Limitlessness or boundlessness is not possible in the very nature of physical life, because physicality always happens with a defined boundary. If there is no defined boundary, there is no physical sense. So there is something within you longing to experience life beyond physical nature. Your tango with physical world is only because of the body that you have gathered, isn't it? It's only because of the body that you have gathered, you have a certain relationship with the physical world. Otherwise, you have no relationship with the physical world. So, physical body is very necessary to walk this planet, but it is your vehicle. It is like you got into your BMW. I'm using the word BMW because these are the three traps: body, mind and the world. You get involved and entangled in this. You drove your BMW, but somewhere you want to get out of the car, isn't it? You don't want to live in the car for the rest of your life. As a vehicle, it may be a good vehicle, but when time comes, you must to get off. Right now, that ability you have given up. Inner engineering is a process to give you this, that if you sit here, your body is here, your mind is there, what you is little away from these two things. Once this happens, this is the end of suffering. Once there is no fear of suffering, once you're joyful by your own nature, not because of something else, only then you can truly unfold your genius. Right now, I see that human genius, human competence, human ability to do things is simply being crippled because of the fear of suffering.